parental advisory stickers on records. We knew in the 90s what this was becoming. And now we have a whole bunch of executives who go home to communities where death isn't at their front door every other day. The fact that everything is so hypersexualized, do you know how many young black girls get raped and kidnapped and trafficked? And we're like perpetuating this every single day in everything we do in the media. No other culture will allow it. You don't see it happening with other people. It happens specifically, almost exclusively to black people because nobody else is going for that shit. If core values, education, honor didn't matter, then other cultures who are succeeding would not be preserving those legacies in their communities. Yeah. We don't have anything that we can identify with. Generally speaking, there are people who do. There are families who are wealthy, but as a general rule, if you really just count, you go to Tubi, you go to any of these platforms, and you count the number of shows that show us in a derogatory, negative light, it far supersedes anything that shows us positive. Numbers don't lie, people do. Bottom line is all you have to do is go flip through what you're watching, and it's step, fetch it, drop it low, spread it wide, bang, bang, shoot 'em up. That is just the reality. Until black people as a culture start demanding, and by demanding I mean economic protest, meaning take your focus, your dollars, your energy, your time, and put it into more positive things.
I don't really know if this is my last time, but what I know is I'm feeling just fine. My life is like a red carpet, and I'm feeling like the richest millionaire. This is my local mayor, and I'm the biggest star around here.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. More importantly, you saw the clip. This is that thing where, you know, pushing a negative image of us creates a negative life for us. And I get it. And some of the stuff I agree with, some of the stuff I can't really agree with. But like as far as the record industry goes, could the record industry actually push a better image or get better artists? Yeah, that's why they losing money, and that's why the artists, you know, aren't doing as well, because they are so beholden to having a negative image of us that they don't know what talent is. See, hip hop is the cheapest form of music to make, so it gets the biggest gains. But at the same time, what you got is people who, you know, you got, you say suburban white people who trying to tell black people, oh, you're not black enough, you're not hood enough, I need to tell you more drugs, more killing, more murder. And you even had Meek Mill talk about that. If I put something good, not even more positive in my music, they won't play it at the radio stations. So it goes into that same conversation that people would have about race, and when people will say, you know, you black people deal drugs to your own community and you kill your own community, and you're like, well, we got the drugs from your community. Well, you didn't have to sell them. It's like you didn't have to build a whole drug market to sell drugs in the first place. So we gonna skip over that? And absolutely, they're gonna skip over that. Just like with the imagery, are you gonna skip over not playing good music that isn't negative? Yeah, you know, this is why I used to talk about all of these non-black people at black hip hop stations. You know, we're not, you know, how many black people at country stations? How many black people at Hispanic stations? How many black people at Asian stations? It's not like that. You know, it's just not like that. But they don't get to tell these other groups what they're gonna listen to. Yeah, your people don't like that. They're like this. They don't do that. So I get the negative imagery. Now, do other people have? Are we the only people that have negative imagery about us? Absolutely, absolutely not. But what it is we just look at negative imagery of other people as entertaining and action and as fantasy, and it's like, well, it's like art doesn't imitate life with other groups of people. You get what I'm saying? Like when you see when you see white people just killing everything, it's like, oh, it's just a movie. That's just a TV show. They don't have any singer singing about it. They don't have any white rapper singing about killing. That's not really true, but it's that you know, it's just entertaining, and it's like, well, how many movies you got about killing everything in sight? That's just entertaining. You know what I'm saying? In all groups. How many mafia movies you got? How many crime syndicate movies you got? And television shows. You got a shitload of them. All of the biggest white shows pretty much are criminal shows. From Sons of Anarchy to Ozark to Breaking Bad, you know, it's something action based. The Ocean's 11, all criminality. It's all criminality. So, and that's what's pushed. So, Sopranos, Oz, all that other stuff, And then when it's The Wire, oh, those people, man, they're so, oh, those people are wild. It's like, oh, okay, I hear you. The other aspect of this that's sometimes overlooked, like I don't know how the trafficking thing went into that with the black girls, because I don't hear music about trafficking. I don't see shows about black girls getting trafficked. I just don't. They have stripper shows and sex shows, but not trafficking shows. So, my last thing I could think about with trafficking was probably the last Rambo movie. And what is the movie with Liam Neeson when his daughter keep getting snatched every doggone movie? Taken. That's the last I could think about trafficking. But when it comes to, the negative imagery or negative shows and not having positive shows, that's absolutely true. And that happened, you could basically say after A Different World went off the air. But that was a whole era. Because to me, what seems to happen was black positivity makes too much money. That's the same thing with the whole Black Panther thing. It makes too much money because the Cosby Show made too much money. Different World made too much money. Michael Jackson made too much money. Prince made too much money. Luther Vandross made too much money. Whitney Houston made too much money. Mariah Carey made too much money. You get what I'm saying? I can go on and on and on. Nelly wasn't actually gangster music, made too much money. So what you're seeing is Tupac was like, it was a mixed bag. Most of his biggest hits wasn't thuggish songs at all. So too much money, too impactful. Kanye, too much money, too impactful. Jay-Z, he's a drug dealer era, but when you listen to the music holistically, it's diverse. Too much money. You get what I mean? Spike Lee, too much money, too much impact. So the Malcolm X, the Inside Man and stuff like that is just too much. Miracle at Santa Ana is too much. So now what you're seeing is just negative, 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 negative. But it's to the point where even us black people, I guess other people are taking it like, oh, this is what black people are. But we like, I mean, the negative imagery of us is so out of touch with the black community. It's ridiculous. Like, it's to me, it's hard for the actors to actually get a real feeling of this, because it's like, this is not shit that we do. They're not the kind of people to do all of this type of stuff. It's just weird. So is the negative imagery a problem? Yeah. Do people see us negative because of the imagery? Yeah. But truth be told, that's what they want to see. That's what they want to see. Like, I think people are just afraid of our aggression and our ability to have aggression. And that's not just a music sense. That's a music and sports sense. They see how physically dominant we can be, and it becomes an issue. So, and that's where the movement of the culture goes. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the stuff that Black America has done in America, other people have taken not necessarily the credit for, but the money for. So you need to demonize the group that you're stealing from so other people can be all right with the theft. And that's what keeps going on over and over and over again. But I think we're at a point where nobody's really buying these stories because they're so ridiculous. And it started that way because you got to remember that was the issue with Good Times back in the day, was they didn't want a father in the home. And that's the role for a father in the home. And they wanted it to be broken families and all that other stuff. And black people wasn't going for that. But the shows are classic shows. And truth be told, even when you look at a show like Good Times to this day, nobody really plays the episodes after James died. Everything is while James was living. So the negative imagery doesn't really work long term. But I'm going to leave it at that, man. Tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night, know I gave you everything I had.